Good afternoon. Well, two weather warnings from Met Éireann remain in place for the country this lunchtime as Storm Eunice tracks east across the country, bringing severe and damaging winds as well as falls of heavy rain, sleet and snow. A yellow snow and ice warning is in effect until tomorrow morning, while a status yellow wind and rain alert is in place until 6 this evening. Well, we have reporters right around the country this lunchtime bringing us the latest on Storm Eunice. But first, we can go to Nicole Gernan in Dunleary in Dublin. Nicole, the capital now feeling the impact of the storm.
Yes, that's right, Anne. So Storm Eunice moving east across the country at the moment into the Irish Sea and towards Great Britain. But at the moment, it is feeling the force here in Dunleary. Met Éireann saying we could expect to see very strong winds across the south and the east of the country for many hours yet. And here in Dunleary, it has started to brighten up, but it is still very blustery. The sea is extremely high, waves crashing off the sea walls and off the famous Dunleary Pier. Very few people out and about, though. People do seem to be heeding the warnings. Also, the Harbour Police also out and about, making sure that people don't put themselves in harm's way. As you mentioned, we still have that nationwide yellow wind warning in place until 6 p.m. this evening. Met Éireann saying we could see gusts of wind of up to 110 kilometres an hour and a high risk of coastal flooding. We also have that nationwide yellow snow and ice warning in place until 10 a.m. tomorrow, so extra care is going to be needed if you are heading out on the roads.
Well, let's go now to our reporter Paul Quinn, who's in County Sligo, where the northwest is seeing the worst of the snow.
Yeah, that's right, Anne, and it's certainly Donegal which has borne the brunt of Storm Eunice so far. Significant amounts of snowfall, sleet falling from the early hours of this morning. Pictures, videos sent in to us here at Virgin Media News showing just how much snow has fallen, particularly around parts of Letterkenny, but also in West Donegal and in the Inishowen Peninsula as well. Driving conditions in Donegal treacherous in many roads. Many roads were closed, were impassable around Mount Errigal, and as I say, further north in the Inishowen Peninsula as well this morning. Donegal County Council saying crews are working. Most roads are now passable with care. Here in Sligo, a number of trees down, a tree down in Riverstown, crews out as well, clearing that earlier this morning. But I think local authorities around the northwest region breathing a sigh of relief that perhaps the predictions of what Storm Eunice was set to bring isn't as bad as what has happened. That's status orange warning that was in place for Donegal, Sligo, Leitrim, Mayo, Roscommon, which saw schools, third level institutions closed today. That warning has now been lifted. As Nicole said, though, that yellow snow and ice warning does remain in place, and crews will be out this evening gritting roads in preparation for any hazardous conditions.
Right, well, over now to our Midwestern reporter Eric Clark in Killarney in County Kerry now, where clean-up operations are already underway and ESB crews are working to get power back on. Eric.
That's right, Storm Eunice hitting County Kerry with a short, sharp shock in the early hours of this morning, though not, I suppose, with the intensity or ferocity that some people might have expected, given that level red weather warning that was in effect and expired at 8 o'clock this morning. It has left some people asking the question if the warnings were justified, but given the picture that has emerged here today, it's clear that this storm did pose significant threat to people's safety. Local contractors and crews from Kerry County Council have been out since 8 a.m. responding to dozens of reports of fallen trees and other debris, in some cases falling on roads, some taking down power lines. ESB crews also out today. At one point this morning, there were 22,000 ESB customers without power in County Kerry alone. That figure is closer to 18,000 now this lunchtime. The south of the county was worst impacted, but also power outage in Castlemaine impacted about 4,500 customers. And I've been to Castlemaine to ask people there if they think the red weather warning was justified.
I didn't find it too bad at all. No, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And it went through very quick here. I'm
sure it's a pure joke. You know, we come up here to the bank this morning and it opened till 11 because of the storm. The schools are shut because of the storm. When we were going to school, I think President de Valera died before we got a day off.
I went to bed, thought that I wouldn't get a wink and was quite worried, but passed.
Now, Storm Eunice has passed, still experiencing wintry showers here in Killarney at the moment. People are advised to continue to take care on the roads, as not all trees or debris has been cleared yet, and also people also being urged to be wary of fallen power lines as they may be live.
Well, the storm has had an impact on travel, whether by road, sea and air. And Rob O'Hanrahan is live at Dublin Airport. Rob, already a number of flights cancelled due to the storm.
Yes, Anne. So while the rain has somewhat abated here at Dublin Airport, the windsock behind me is still at 90 degrees, as it has been for most of the morning since we arrived here a few hours ago. And as you would expect, that's had a knock-on effect. At least 18 flights cancelled in and out of Dublin Airport this morning, and it's expected there will be further knock-on delays this afternoon as Storm Eunice tracks into Great Britain. Similar situation in Cork Airport, at least 8 flights cancelled in and out, and a number are subject to serious delays. Similar situation then again with ferries. Stena Line say that all of their routes have been affected, whether cancelled or delayed. Better news though for travel within the country. Bus Éireann says all routes are now back up and running in Cork, Clare and Kerry after that red alert was lifted earlier this morning. And Irish Rail also saying that all services on all routes are operating, albeit with a minor delay. The overall message from all transport services today, Anne, is to check before leaving the house to make sure that your route is operational, if it is operating with any delays, but to make sure you check that before leaving, as a number are subject to serious delays.
Thanks for that, and thank you to all of our reporters for bringing us the latest developments on Storm Eunice from around the country. Well, the southwest was one of the first regions to feel the full force of Storm Eunice. Our southern correspondent Paul Byrne has been surveying the damage in County Cork.
When Eunice landed here in Cork, she certainly made her presence felt and resulted in major power outages in many parts of the county. High winds coupled with heavy rainfall also made driving conditions extremely difficult. In Cove in County Cork, the O'Regan family miraculously escaped injury when this huge mature tree came crashing down on their home earlier this morning.
It was about 8:15 this morning. We were just up and dressed, and I said, actually, I don't think it's too bad. And next thing, bang. So it was a bit of a shock now, right? So a branch actually came through the roof into the landing upstairs. And one of the windows downstairs was blown in, so that's probably what the noise was. But anyway, thankfully, we were all fine. We're at the back of the house.
Crews from ESB Networks arrived to make fallen power lines safe.
Certainly did. I was still a bit shocked after it, yeah. Yeah, because I don't know, I never really considered that something like that could happen. You know, you don't really see it as a threat. But yeah, it was a shock. Thank God we're all right. Our offices are both at the front of the house. We both work from home. So his window was blown in, so it's probably a good thing he wasn't at his desk.
On the water, a number of boats dragged their moorings, others broke their lines. This blue fishing boat drifted for up to 2 miles downstream from Passage in County Cork before eventually crashing into a number of other boats at Ferome Dockyard. Crews from ESB Networks are continuing to warn people to avoid fallen lines. The O'Regan family in Cove are still recovering from their near miss. Members of the Severe Weather Assessment Team at Cork County Council are currently monitoring the situation on an ongoing basis, and crews at Cork City Council remain on high alert for fallen trees and debris. Paul Byrne, Virgin Media News, Cork.